weather this month in Southwest Florida has been great. We've got another beautiful day for walking on the beach or watching baseball from the CenturyLink Sports Complex, specifically Hammond Stadium in Fort Myers. Grapefruit League play between the Tampa Bay Rays and Minnesota Twins. And we welcome you once again to Fort Myers for our final spring training telecast. Dick Bramer along with Bert Blyleven. The Twins, incredibly, still have 39 players in camp. They got to get down to 25 by Friday.
Yeah, hey, as of early this morning, they had 41. They made a couple kids today, but still 14 guys by my California math to be, kind of axed out. So, there's some good and there's bad in this time of the season in spring training. Of course, the bad is guys having to go down to AAA or wherever, and the good is guys that maybe didn't expect to make the ball club. So we'll have to wait and see who those 14 are.
Buddy Boshiers and Tommy Field got the bad news today, and the Twins, of course, have a lot of cutting to do before they leave for Minnesota on Friday. We do know that three young outfielders, three of the best young outfielders in the American League, are on the 40-man roster, and they're projected to be in the outfield for the Twins for years to come.
Well, it'll be Eddie Rosario in left field, of course, Byron Buxton in center, and Max Kepler in right. And these guys right here, they got their feet wet last year. They got some major league at-bats. Rosario having an outstanding spring training. Buxton's been moved around the lineup, and Max Kepler still looking for that perfect swing. But these three guys, part of the future for the Twins.
And the future begins Monday at Target Field, the start of the 2017 season. Twins have a little work to conduct yet here, both roster-wise, and they'd like to get some at-bats and some innings pitched out of some pitchers they hope to take a look at. We'll be back with the first pitch between the Rays and Twins in a moment. It is a hot and steamy spring afternoon. Temperatures expected to climb into the upper 80s here today. Humidity's got to be up there as well, but Twins are going to enjoy this because it probably won't be this warm Monday when they open the regular season at Target Field. Here's the Menard batting order for the Tampa Bay Rays. Malik Smith will lead things off. Kevin Kiermaier, then Derek Norris, Brad Miller, Logan Morris, and Ricky Weeks just told today that he has made the 25-man roster. Daniel Robertson, Shane Peterson, and Kevin Padlo.
And it'll be starter Nick Tepesch on the mound here this afternoon. Someone that Paul Molitor and I think Neil Allen hoping to see if Tepesch can maybe be a long man. But defensively, of course, we talked about it in the open. Rosario, Buxton, Kepler in the outfield, Miguel Sano at short, Polanco, Dozier, Mauer round out the infield, and John Ryan Murphy behind the plate catching Nick Tepesch.
Tepesch, a former teammate of Kyle Gibson's at the University of Missouri, born and raised in the Kansas City area. And as you see there, he's not had the best of springs as he hopes to hang on to a spot in what is assumed to be a 12-man pitching staff.
Yeah, he signed a minor league contract, so every outing very, very important for Nick.
Smith, the leadoff batter, and he takes one in the dirt, ball one. Tepish with some major league experience, parts of a couple of years, principally as a starter with the Texas Rangers, made a start for the Dodgers last year.
Yeah, he was with 4 different organizations last year after being let go by the Rangers.
Really good minor league numbers throughout his career, but he hasn't been able to bring that success with him to the big leagues. There's a pop fly to right field, and Kepler trots in a couple of steps. 1 away. Regarding the cuts, and again, the Twins made a couple of them today. They expect to make the bulk of their cuts tomorrow. And health is a part of the issue for the Twins as they hope to get down to 25 men. They need to find out whether Robbie Grossman is going to be ready to go. He's going to play a few innings on the minor league side today and hopes to play in the major league game tomorrow over at JetBlue.
They want to get him about 5 or 6 at-bats over in the minor league area today.
Tomorrow, Paul Molitor said he would hope to have him in the lineup over at JetBlue against the Red Sox, put him in left field, have him run around in the outfield a bit. Foul back, and it's 1-1.
Twins have a good center fielder in Byron Buxton, and the Tampa Bay Rays have a good center fielder in this young man right here. Kiermaier, very, very good center fielder.
So much so that they locked him up long term a week and a half ago. Buxton hopes to have a big contract or 2 or 3 ahead of him. 2-1. And now 3-1. You saw Tepish's numbers. One of the issues has been his inability to throw strikes, a high number of walks. Fouled back, and Tepish left a pitch up, and Kiermaier fouled it straight back.
Yeah, fastball clocked at 91. Tepish, 28 years old. They list him at 6'4", about 240.
And there's a walk. So a man aboard with 1 out here in the first. We've had extraordinary weather, great for preparing a team for baseball. No interruptions at all, and now 85 degrees. It's supposed to stay this way the rest of the week. A little bit of a chance, I guess, for rain on Friday, but then Twins hope by then they'll be in the air on their way to Minnesota.
Well, they need some rain here. Hopefully it will come soon.
Derek Norris, new, I mean really new to the Rays. Just signed finally a few days ago. There's a drive to center field, and Buxton is backing over his left shoulder, makes the catch, out number 2. Then the Rays made some news today, acquiring veteran outfielder Peter Borges for a player to be named later or cash from the White Sox. 2 down, a man at first, and here's Brad Miller.
Well, one thing the Rays are trying to do under third-year manager Kevin Cash, and that's have a better season just like the Twins. Last year, 68-95 were the Rays. But an organization that has lost a lot of great players because, to tell you the truth, unless they sign somebody young like Kiermaier, they'll lose him, or even a Evan Longoria, signing him to a long-term contract early on in his career.
At the knees, a strike. And a look getting Kiermaier back to first base.
Yeah, Kiermaier can steal some bases. A couple stolen bases already this spring. Good, healthy lead at first base. And a throw over, he dives back.
Tepish, a big guy. 6'4". Mentioned from the Kansas City area. Weighs about 240. Down and in a ball. 1-1.
Speed pitch right there at 85 miles an hour. Brad Miller slated to be the second open day second baseman for Kevin Cash.
Logan Forsythe, who was with the Rays and did a great job at second base for the Rays, traded to the Dodgers. Lifted down the left field line. It'll spin back over by the Twins bullpen. And it is 1-2. $18 pitchers still in camp, 2 of them non-roster. One of those non-roster pitchers is the guy on the mound, Nick Tepish. On the ground, and Polanco fires across on target to Mauer. A walk does no damage. Tepish with a clean first inning. As we head to the bottom of the first inning, no score. And the Twins hoping to have a good final few days here in Grapefruit League play. The Menards batting order today. Ryan Dozier in the leadoff spot. Max Kepler hitting second. More and more we've seen Byron Buxton hitting third. And more we've seen Joe Mauer hit cleanup. Then Sano, Rosario Park, Polanco, and Murphy. And the Rays out in the field. Brought to you by Ford. Alex Smith in left, Kiermaier in center, Peterson in right, Padlo, Robertson, Miller, Morrison, the infielders, and the newly acquired Norris behind the plate. Tell us everything we need to know about Chris Archer.
Well, Chris Archer had a tough year last year, 9-19, but not to all his fault. He did not get a lot of run support, but this young man right here knows how to pitch. His second start against the Twins this spring, he last pitched against them back on the 16th of the month. Very well, 4 2/3 innings. The opening day starter for the Rays.
For the third straight year. He's been the leader of what's been a pretty good pitching staff in recent years, of course. Once David Price left, others have left. James Shields left. Seems like the #1 guy has always been dealt or left through free agency from the Rays. But Archer, at least for the time being, he's still with the Rays.
Well, he's been their innings eater over the last couple of years, over 200 innings over the last couple of years. 33 starts last year, just over 201 innings pitched.
Driven to right center field, headed towards the gap. Kiermaier can go get it, and he does just that. He goes and gets it. 1 down. Made it look easy. That ball went on left home plate. Looked like it might find the gap, but too much airtime when Kiermaier's out center field. And that'll bring up Max Kepler. Kepler, as you see, has not had the best of springs. Up and away, ball one. But if it's true, and we were reminded again that it is true, somebody can have, or a team can have a good spring. Doesn't really matter till the regular season starts. Just the opposite of that is also true. You can individually have a bad spring. Backhanded nicely by Robertson, and Kepler retired. You can have a bad spring, and that doesn't matter either once the bell rings.
Yeah, he hit the ball sharply right there, but Robertson going to his right, he was shading him up the middle, makes a nice defensive play.
Well, the base is empty, and now here is the third place hitter for the Twins. Most of the last week, Byron Buxton. I think we're getting to a point in spring training, Bert, where Paul Molitor's trying to leave people in positions where we might see them next week when the games count. Buxton lifts it foul and out of play. As we talked about the other day, I think a lot of people assumed, and I know I did, that although he hit in the bottom of the order most of the year last year, that eventually Buxton would be a leadoff man. But as spring training has developed, he's played less and less in the leadoff spot and more in the middle of the lineup. That's to left, and Smith will play it on a hop. Buxton, undaunted, will dig for two, and he's in with a stand-up double. So imagine if you're a left fielder and you have a ball like that, you don't want to misplay and have it get behind you, and the guy would get a double. So you play it cautiously, and the guy's still at second base.
Yeah, Smith, you know, not the best of route right there. Kind of went to his left, and that ball hit in front of him. And, you know, Buxton's so quick. He did not hesitate as he rounded first base. And with 2 outs, he wants to get in the scoring position. For Buxton, that's his 8th double of the spring.
And that will bring up the guy who's hit in the cleanup spot a few times here in the final week and a half of spring training. And talking with Paul Molitor during batting practice today, got the sense that this is where we might see Joe on opening day on Monday. As baseball has changed, and so much of it has changed in recent years with the infusion of analytics and other things, the typical roles or typical job descriptions of different hitters at different spots in the lineup, that's all kind of been blurred too.
Well, Twins expecting a good year out of Joe. I think we all are.
Buxton with a good lead-off second, half swing by Mauer, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, good hard breaking ball there. Archer all about control of that fastball. They'll mix in the breaking ball. Very good changeup. Very, very consistent. Last year, 233 strikeouts for Archer, second in the American League.
Two strikes to Mauer. And Archer behind the mound goes for a stroll. He wants to talk to his shortstop. And the subject of conversation, I would imagine, is the guy standing at second base, Buxton. With a left-handed hitter up there, Miller has to play in short right field or on the edge of the grass. So it is the shortstop Robertson's job to try to keep Buxton close. Good percentage for Buxton, given that he spent a good chunk of the year, of course, at AAA. Just 10 successful steals.
Well, look for the daylight as far as the shortstop opening up the glove. He's right behind Buxton right now. Maybe something Archer wants to work on in spring training.
A little cat and mouse here with...
Yeah, and the thing is, there's 2 outs here. You know, 0-2 on Mauer. Buxton's going to score on a base hit no matter where it's hit. Let's see if they put on a play. No, Robertson goes back.
And Mauer strikes out. Buxton left at second base. And we have a scoreless first inning. Coming up on Monday, of course, the season and home opener, and tickets for the opener against the Royals are still available. The best seats going fast. The first 30,000 fans receive a Twins long sleeve hooded tee, courtesy of your local Northland Ford dealers. Help us kick off the 17th season. Get your tickets today at twinsbaseball.com/tickets or on your mobile device. Here's the ball chopped to the left side and through for a base hit. Logan Morrison sending one just to the right of Miguel Sano for a leadoff single.
A good at bat right there by Morrison. You know, with the shifts that they put on, looked like Morrison got a breaking ball and just didn't try to pull it, just went with it out of the reach of Sano. So he's on first base with nobody out. First hit for the Rays.
And now veteran Ricky Weeks, he's had a good spring training, and he was told today that he is on this Rays team now after signing a non-roster contract. The designated hitter today. Down and away, ball one.
Yeah, Weeks has 3 home runs this spring. He's driven in 10, hitting .286.
And Tepish zips a fastball over the inside corner.
Weeks, a longtime Milwaukee Brewer.
To Mauer, who tags the runner. Double play. So Morrison goes to the opposite field to get a ground ball single. Weeks slashes a liner to Mauer, and it turns into a double play.
Yeah, sometimes as a base runner, you're kind of stuck in no man's land. You see Morris jumping off the bag. The ball hit sharply to Joe, and Joe making the tag for the double play.
And that'll bring up Robertson. And over the inside corner. Hooked foul. Over by the Twins bullpen. Rays will come to the Twins to play at Target Field at the end of May, a weekend series. Twins will go there early in September. Toward the hole and through. Another ground ball base hit. And Robertson takes a big turn but holds up there. 2-out single, and that'll bring up Shane Peterson. Peterson having a decent spring training. Check swing, outside ball one. Twins 16-13-2. Tampa Bay 11-15-3, although they've been winless in their last 7 games. Rays have really struggled in the field. They've committed 40 errors in their 29 games. It's kind of what the Orioles did last year. They had a poor spring training and kicked the ball around a lot in the field, and then there they were at the end of the season in the playoffs. And that's the hope for the Rays, that trying to sort some things out, getting some people comfortable in some positions, and that when the real season starts, they'll play better baseball. 2-0 to Peterson. And Mauer knocks it down, goes to the bag. Tepish getting the ball hit on the ground here. At least in the second inning, couple of hits, but no damage done. Still no score. Score after an inning and a half. Group outings at Target Field are a great way to have fun with your school, your youth sports team, church, and more. Groups of 25 or more qualify for special ticket discounts and can reserve traditional stadium seats without a deposit. Organize your group outing at Target Field today. Log on to twinsbaseball.com/groups or call 800-33-TWINS and ask about a Twins Target Field group outing. Dick Bramer, Bert Blyleven here in Fort Myers, joined by the new Twins catcher, Jason Castro, not in the starting lineup today. And Jason, first of all, thanks for being with us. What has been the biggest challenge for you switching organizations after all those years in Houston's organization and trying to get to learn a new pitching staff here?
Yeah, it's been a great transition so far. You know, coming from Houston, being the only organization I've was with my entire career. Didn't really know what to expect, but the staff, players, everybody here has been great and has made that transition pretty smooth for me.
Jason, have you had an opportunity to almost catch everybody in that rotation yet?
Yeah, at some point I've caught everyone at least in the bullpen. I think the only guy I haven't caught is Ryan Presley. So I think in the last few days here we're going to try to get that done, and after that I think that's about it.
I don't think a lot of fans know the kind of the preparation that you have to have as a catcher with that starter, and then also get to know the bullpen guys. But the preparation you have to sit down with that starter and go over the opposing lineup.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. A lot of video, a lot of advanced scouting reports, and we have meetings every day. Catchers get together with the starting pitchers and go over whoever's throwing that day, going over, what our game plan is for, our opponents.
You mentioned video, and I talked with James Rowson, who's trying to get to learn the Twins hitters. You have to learn the pitchers. Once you signed your contract with the Twins, did you look at video of the guys expected to be on this pitching staff, or did you wait until spring training?
Yeah, so when I was out in Minneapolis and signed, I met with Sean, video coordinator, and he was able to give me some video to watch before I came into camp. So that way I kind of, at least had a little bit more of a familiarity with some of the guys that are, in the starting rotation, and that way I wasn't kind of starting from scratch, and I could kind of do some of my own reporting before I even got here.
You know what, when you're behind the plate, I know as a former pitcher, and you sit down with your catcher, you go over the lineup, you have a game plan going in, but so many times that scoreboard dictates, maybe how you're going to pitch somebody. But also, if you have a pitcher out there that say, hey, this guy's having a tough time with the ball middle in, but that pitcher can't get that in there, Sometimes that's the hard part, is it not?
Yeah, that's definitely part of kind of matching your advanced reports with what your staff is capable of doing. I mean, sometimes a pitcher's strength happens to match up with maybe a hitter's strength, and how do we weigh that, and when do we attack that? In certain situations in the game, you might go right after it, or you might want to play it a little more safe. So there's a lot of kind of a balancing act that happens with some of those things.
It's almost a cat and mouse game at times, is it not?
Definitely, yeah. There's a lot that goes into it. Some of the gaming aspect of it comes into play.
Jason, you come to the Twins, and I think Twins fans have heard a lot about your pitch framing ability. Explain to the fans exactly what it is that you do that can induce close pitches to be called strikes rather than balls.
It's kind of more of an approach and a mindset of what I'm trying to do to catch the ball. I'm trying to position my body to give the umpire the best look at the pitch, and then really just trying to catch the ball out in front and counteract some of the movement that these pitchers get. I mean, these guys throw so hard with late breaking action, and if you're not doing things to counter that action, it's going to take your glove out of the zone. So just trying to do little things to position yourself to receive the pitch, to keep it in the strike zone when it's there.
There used to be American League umpires, there used to be National League umpires. Now you have all the umpires under one hat. Is it not difficult over the first couple innings to know what that guy behind you will give you and not give you?
Yeah, I mean, some umpires, see pitches differently than others. Obviously, everybody's human. So, having had most of the umpires in the league, obviously there's some younger guys that are coming up, that I look forward to working with. But you have a little bit of experience just working with umpires in the past, and certain umpires, see different pitches certain ways. So that's part of it as well, just knowing what that umpire that night, might be more likely to give you.
Let me ask you one more question about that. Now, as a former pitcher, sometimes you feel like, that's a strike right there. As a catcher, and say you think it is too, rather than, trying to say, oh, yeah, that was a strike, but it really wasn't. But you got to be honest with me. If that's a strike, you have to talk to that umpire, not me as a pitcher. You have to protect the pitcher.
Yeah, that's about right. That's about building that relationship with the umpire and getting to the point where, you can talk to him and let him know that, he may have missed one there, and you can help your pitcher in those ways as well.
Jason, thanks for the time.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, thank you. Twins go down 1-2-3 in the second. No score as we head to the third inning, and a reminder that you should flex plan. Receive 20 digital tickets and enjoy all the benefits of being a Twins season ticket holder. The flex plan gives you the flexibility to choose only the games you wish to attend all the way up until the first pitch. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/flex. I think they were going to ask the TV broadcaster to do that flex for the promo, but Brian was first in line. And so to the third inning, Kevin Padlo will lead things off, and Nick Tepesch starts him with a strike. Padlo, Smith, and Kiermaier in the third. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Couple good sliders right there by Tepesch. Pitch count very good, 23 after 2 shutout innings for Nick Tepesch.
Outside, 1-2.
I think they look at Tepesch, even though he's not on the roster, he's still got a chance to make that bullpen, as a guy that can pitch multi-innings out of that bullpen. So many guys are conditioned now to maybe pitch 1 inning, but a guy like Tepesch that's been around the block a little bit, they feel he might fit nicely if a starter is unable to go deep into the ball game where he can throw 2 or 3 innings.
Two and 2 to Padlo. And ball third strike.
Tepesch picks up his first strikeout.
And first time through the order, a walk, a couple of ground ball singles, a good outing for Tepesch. And now the second time through the order begins with Malik Smith. Twins brought in Tepesch, also Ryan Vogelsong, another veteran with substantially more major league innings than Tepesch, but somebody who's, been around and has a lot of experience. Vogelsong about a week ago asked for and got his release, as Vogelsong came to camp hoping to be a starting pitcher. And the Twins' options, even with Trevor May being lost for the season with Tommy John surgery, the Twins' options appear to be right now Adalberto Mejia and Tyler Duffy. Both players whose ceiling is a little bit higher than Vogelsong's at this point.
All right, look at Tepesch out there. I think of Carl Pavano. He's kind of built like Pavano a little bit. Same type of delivery, fastball. Got to rely on control of that fastball, the sharp breaking ball, an off-speed pitch.
1-1 to Smith. And fouled back. One of the areas that Derek Falvey and Thad Levine worked on was trying to establish more depth behind whoever leaves here on Friday. Players that might start the season in Rochester, but as has been well established over the years, and more so last year than any other year, you start the year in Rochester, you stand a really, really good chance of being in the major leagues at some point that season.
Well, you mentioned, in our previous show, a couple of days ago, 29 pitchers used last year.
Swing and a miss, and Tepesch has a couple of strikeouts here to start the third inning.
The 2-2 pitch, the 1-2 pitch, good breaking ball that went straight down, and Smith stayed off of it, but then chased a high fastball.
Here is Kiermaier, drew a walk his first time up.
Kiermaier with that open stance, and then will step toward the pitcher with that kick.
Lazy fly to left, and Rosario drifts back a few steps, puts it away, and a 1-2-3 third for Nick Tepesch. Not much happening so far here this afternoon, but you can follow Twins baseball live all season long with the MLB.com at-bat mobile app. Stay connected to the game's best players all season long with Game Day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat today, your #1 app for live baseball. Dick and Bert with you from Fort Myers, bottom of the third. And it will be Jorge Polanco leading things off for the Twins. And the Rays go into a pull shift for Polanco, which is a bit surprising. I don't picture him from either side of the plate being so much a pull hitter.
He's showing bunt right there. Takes a strike.
Polanco, then John Ryan Murphy and Brian Dozier in the third.
Oh, if you're already seeing a good fastball from Chris Archer, 94 to 96 miles an hour, straight over the top, 6'2", about 195. Really utilizes that pitching rubber to explode toward home plate.
Fouled off a leg, 2 strikes.
You know, in WBC, we were in Japan. A lot of the Japanese pitchers will give you the little hesitation when they come to that position of the balance point, and Archer does that from time to time. Only 2 guys over the last couple of years have had more strikeouts than Chris Archer, Max Scherzer and Chris Sale. So he's a strikeout pitcher. He already has 3.
Foul back. Well, the Rays have always developed really good pitchers. Archer, Price, James Shields.
Well, Twins pitching coach Neil Allen knows all about the staff and the youngsters in the Ray organization.
He was a big part of their development. Dribbler Fowl as their AAA pitching coach.
Yeah, kind of the same way Frank Viola, we mentioned him the other day, changing his number. Same thing Frank has done in Las Vegas with the New York Met AAA pitchers. I see Frank one day being a major league pitching coach.
Yeah, he came close to getting the job with the Twins. Some other opportunities haven't quite clicked for Frank yet. 0-2. And now up 1-2.
And it looks like a nice, that last one clocked at 96 miles an hour. It's nice and easy, too. It's not real forceful, other than the lower part of his body. Good whip in that arm.
Driven to center. Kiermaier backpedals, fighting the sun a little bit, makes the catch, 1 away. You know, that's an important thing, isn't it? I mean, you can throw whatever, 92, 93, but if it's max effort every time you get there to that level, you know, no wonder stuff decreases or velocity decreases, because no one can sustain that for 6, 7, or 8 innings. But if it looks like you're not maxing out on every pitch, then that should allow you, I would think, to last longer in a game.
Well, some guys are just blessed with a quick arm, and I think Archer, one of those youngsters that has a very quick arm.
Inside ball 1. John Ryan Murphy doing the catching today. There's 96. And he didn't hear Archer grunt, and it didn't look like he was working real hard to get it to home plate. Down and away, 2-0.
Yeah, it's hard to win ball games. Archer, again, we mentioned at the top of the show, a 19-game loser last year. He was 9-19, but not a bad earned run average at 4.02. He just couldn't win at home.
Now 3-0 to the number 9 bat.
At Tropicana Field, he was 3-10 at home, but an ERA of 2.65. He had absolutely no run support. And as you mentioned, he's going to be opening day starter for the Rays again for the 3rd straight year.
High and tight, and Murphy takes a 4-pitch walk. Second base runner for the Twins. Earlier today, Buxton dropped a 2-out double. into left field. Murphy aboard, and now Brian Dozier. I'll be curious once the season starts, and as I can't even get this thought out, the Rays will go into a pull shift for Dozier, but here in March we've seen him hit as many balls to right field as to left field. And he takes a belt high strike. So I'll be curious as Brian presumably will continue to hit the ball to the right side, pick up hits that way. Unless I suppose he hits them on the ground, there's no reason for the infielders to not play him in a pull shift. His hits to right field have come through the air, line drives and the like. 2 strikes. Now with 2 strikes, the second baseman Miller swings back over to the first base side of second base.
I think we saw last year Brian likes that fastball up. He can turn on it. Not too many guys can do what Brian does on that high fastball. But now Archer ahead in the count. See where he goes right here. Catcher sitting away.
Breaking ball got him.
And Brian knew it.
2 down.
So Archer picks up his 4th strikeout.
The 2 down, Kepler at the plate, and Murphy still at first. Kepler takes a strike on the outside corner.
Like a changeup right there. 87 miles an hour.
And off the plate, 1-1.
Archer last year, 201 innings pitched, 233 strikeouts, just 67 walks. So about 4 strikeouts to every walk. And he's done that so far here this afternoon. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk.
On 1 hop to the first baseman, Morrison, and that takes care of the Twins in the 3rd. No score as we go to the 4th. No score as we go to the 4th inning, and Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with National Alliance on Mental Illness and their commitment to improving the lives of families and those living with mental illness. Learn more about how to be stigma-free. Visit foxsportssupports.com. A couple more games down here after today, and then the Twins will close out the spring training part of the schedule against their AAA roster here on Friday, and then head to Minnesota. It'll be a workout over the weekend. And then a 3 o'clock start, and the 2017 season officially gets underway on Monday. Derek Norris will lead things off in the fourth for the Rays. He'll be followed by Brad Miller and Logan Morrison. Popped up wide of first. Mauer over for a look, and it's 3 rows back. 1 strike.
Little surprised it took Morris this long to sign with somebody. I mean, the need of catchers. You mentioned earlier, Dick, about, the lack of good quality catchers. He came up with the Oakland A's, had a couple good years, last couple of years with the Padres.
His job will be to catch the bulk of the games until Wilson Ramos is healthy after Ramos's knee injury. Down and away. 1-1.
Yeah, he did not have a good year last year with the Padres. Hit only 186 in 125 games. Did hit 14 home runs.
To the right side, past a leaping Dozier, a leadoff single in the fourth. And Norris is aboard with a leadoff single. Second leadoff hit for the Rays, and now Brad Miller. You look at the lineup that's out there right now, and Murphy might make the team as a backup catcher, but our second inning guest, Jason Castro, is expected to do most of the catching for the Twins. And then the backup catcher will be either Chris Jimenez or Murphy, one would think. But what you see out there in the field, away from, in fair territory, minus the pitcher, is what we would expect to see for most of the season. And there's no issue, I don't think, with defensively the right side of the infield, but some concerns about the left side. Polanco's ability to play short on an everyday basis, and until he proves otherwise, there'll always be lingering questions about Sano and his ability to be a reliable third baseman. But then you look at the outfield. I think the outfield's going to be very entertaining to watch, and right side of the infield should be good. So as this Twins team hopes to improve across the board defensively, I think there's reason for optimism that it'll be a much better defensive club.
Well, there's a lot of ceiling for these players, that they're going to get better. The Rosarios, the Buxtons, the Keplers, the Sanos, the Polancos, all young guys. Just hopefully will get 500 at-bats this year and see how they can do. Defensively, I think they'll be fine.
2-1. Fly ball, left center field. Buxton under it for the catch. Norris will retreat to first, 1 down. With the athletic outfield, Buxton in center, Rosario runs well, Kepler runs well. Got a pretty big outfield at Target Field. It'd be nice to think that they'll be able to get to a lot of balls that weren't caught in years past. Of course, that'll help the pitching staff. Here is Morrison. Ground ball single his first time up. Twins were in a pull shift, and he chopped it between Sano and the line for a single. Low, ball 1. Rays with 3 singles, the Twins with 1 double. Now an off-speed pitch and a swing and a miss.
Yeah, Rays are looking for some power in their lineup. Morrison, one of those guys that can supply some pop. 14 home runs last year in 107 games. Kobe Rasmus added. He's got some home run power. Evan Longoria. Both those guys not here, but they can create the long ball.
And that goes back to what you were saying about Archer, who didn't get much run support. And you get some guys who can jerk the ball over the fence. Might help the pitching staff substantially. Mauer with another line drive, and he'll turn another one into a double play. It was Weeks in the second inning, and now Morrison here in the fourth. A blistering liner turned into a double play. No scores. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Scoring as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Twins fans, you can stream games live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go all season long. Download the app and take Fox Sports North and Twins baseball with you wherever you go. Twins have struggled to score runs over the past week. Just one run last night on a Sano home run, couple runs the game before that, 3 the game before that. 5 runs here on the 24th, but all 5 of those came in one inning. And now Danny Farquhar will come in as Chris Archer is out of the game. Twins won't get any break in velocity from Archer to Farquhar because Farquhar throws pretty hard too. And it'll be Byron Buxton, Joe Mauer, and Miguel Sano to face Farquhar.
And Norris going over the signs with Farquhar.
Yeah, Norris just signed a few days ago, so in all likelihood, this is the first time he's had a chance to catch Farquhar in a game. Buxton with a drive to left field. It dropped in front of the left fielder, Malik Smith, and Buxton cruised into second with a stand-up double. Down and away, ball 1. 3, 4, and 5 batters, Buxton, Mauer, and Sano. And he tried to push the bunt between the mound and first base, it appeared. They're pull shifting Buxton, so if you can put the ball on the ground in this instance and force Morrison to play it, if you can just get it by the pitcher, you've got a base hit.
He can almost walk to first.
So as Buxton sees shifts like this, the temptation to bunt's going to be even stronger. Swing and a miss. 1 and 2. And again, I asked him the other day. He said he's tried to bunt for hits 6 times this spring, and he's gotten 2 hits. Hook foul. Hit hard, but foul. And a swing and a miss. Buxton strikes out, 1 away. That'll bring up Mauer. Bauer struck out his first time up with Buxton at second and 2 away. Joe doesn't fit the standard qualifications for a cleanup batter. He hit just 11 home runs last year, but let's consider the word just, because he typically has hit 10, 11. I mean, his second highest home run total is 13 in his big league career. He had the 1 year where he hit 28 home runs in 5 months. But outside of that year, he's not known for his power.
Yeah, I think when Joe has a good year, it's more the extra base hits, the line drives into gaps.
Driven to center. Kiermaier with a long run. Can't get there. And if he can't catch it, no one can catch it. Bauer into second with a 1-out.
Yeah, they were shading Joe a little bit toward the left center, and Kiermaier and his speed could not catch up to that ball. Hit very sharply by Joe. So there's a double right there for Joe, just his second double of the spring. And he gets to second base with 1 out.
That's an exhibition game in the regular season. We might have seen Kiermaier lay out for that ball and see if he could try to make a diving catch. A 1-out double, and now Miguel Sano. Sano hit a home run in last night's game in Sarasota. The only run the Twins scored in the game last night. Down and away, ball 1.
Good changeup right there.
And a swing and a miss.
Marquardt last year split the season between AAA and the big leagues. For the Rays, 35 relief appearances, 3.06 ERA.
And at the knees, a strike. That fastball at 94 miles per hour.
Strikeout pitcher last year, 46 home runs, 46 strikeouts and 35 and a third innings pitched.
Taken low, 2-2.
Almost looks like a split finger he uses as a changeup compared to that fastball. Fastball clocked in the low 90s.
Hit hard on 2 hops to Padlo. And Sano is retired. Second time that he's grounded out to the Rays third baseman. Bauer still at second, and that'll bring up Rosario. Not a base hit, but I think the Twins would be pleased just to see Sano make more contact. You just, you know, guy's powerful hitter. He may hit 35 home runs and drive in 100, but you still want contact. You don't want your big bat in the middle of the lineup to strike out half the time.
Well, I know he's looking to hit 50 home runs this year, but again, I think Sano is, again, and this is just me talking, he's going to be better when he starts hitting that line drive more up the middle than he is trying to pull the ball. Just, to me, I know it's early, spring training. It just looks very, very pull happy.
Tapped up the line, foul. That's why I was interested to see Tampa Bay's outfield during the Sano at bat. They had Kiermaier actually over in right center field. So something in their scouting reports suggests that he can hit the ball or will hit the ball to the opposite field. 1 strike to Rosario. Went down swinging his first time up. Down low.
For Eddie Rosario, he uses the whole field.
Fouled over the screen. 1-2. And the Rays defend him accordingly. Shortstop Robertson swung over a little bit, but the outfield playing him pretty much straight up. 1-2. Roller right side. Miller to Morrison, and the Twins strand another double. Couple of doubles for the Twins, 3 singles for the Rays. Neither team has scored a run.
Spring training baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by Explore Minnesota. Big things are happening. Don't miss a second. Only in Minnesota.
No score yet in the ball game. And we will take a look at keys to the season for the Twins as they hope to obviously have a much better year than they did in 06. Brought to you by Toyota.
And I think, as we all know, it comes down to starting pitching. Starters have to keep the club in the ball game. You know, how's Sano do at third base? Of course, last year here at this time, he was a right fielder. And we had the opportunity. We thank Jason Castro for being on with us in the second inning. He has a quick inning, too. Good for him. And us.
And if the Twins have a better year than 06, that would be wonderful because they won the division in 2006. Want a better year than 2016, that's to be sure. New pitcher for the Twins, Justin Haley.
Yeah, Justin Haley. This is his 9th appearance in an A game. Nice job by Nick Tepesh. 4 shutout innings.
Weeksless one to left, retreating as Rosario, still short of the track, hauls it in 1 down.
You know, we talked about Tepesh, one of those guys out of that bullpen that could throw multi-innings, and that's kind of the same thing for Justin Haley. Always a starter in the minor leagues in a Boston Red Sox organization.
As a Rule 5 pickup, the Twins need to keep him or offer him back to the Red Sox for half the purchase price of $50,000, which is, according to your California.
That's almost like 25, I think, isn't it?
I'm surprised those numbers haven't changed. I think those numbers have been the same, 50 and 25, since I've been doing games going back a long time. Swing and a miss.
Could change up there. It just seems very cheap in today's game, doesn't it?
If for $50,000 you have a chance to get somebody who might help you, why wouldn't you do it? And for half of that, why wouldn't you take the guy back?
But didn't Johan Santana, wasn't he a Rule 5?
Yeah.
Ryan Presley.
1-2 to Robertson. I mean, it's like penny ante poker now in baseball these days. You're talking 50 grand to 25 grand. Let's Let's make it like
you want to up the ante?
That's easy for me. It's not my money, right? $500,000 and $250. Just double. Put an extra. Move the decimal point over a little bit.
You know what's good about that is it gives guys like Justin Haley an opportunity to make a new ball club. Fastball in right there, fouled off, and you don't know what you're going to get. Some guys are locked into organizations because of the people in front of them.
And basically, it moves up the clock for players who still have options left or aren't 6-year minor league free agents. They can be switched to a different team. And a base hit to center field. One down.
Well, Robertson picking up his second single.
And now Shane Peterson. Peterson with a ground ball to Mauer his first time up. 4 hits for the Rays. All of them singles. Tepish walked 1 man in his 4 innings of work. Pitches up, ball 1.
Haley last year started in Double-A for the Boston Red Sox organization, then moved up to Triple-A.
Higher, and out to the mound is Murphy.
Try to get him back down in that strike zone.
Twins tomorrow go across the way over to JetBlue, take on the Red Sox. Then they go up to Port Charlotte to take on the Rays. And then Friday, as we said, they'll take on their Rochester roster.
Twins right now scheduled to have a workout on Sunday. Getting ready for opening day on the 3rd. Monday.
The equipment truck and left today. Big swing.
That's what I feel odd is that, 39 guys left on that 25-man roster. That means 14 individuals probably put some stuff on that truck.
Well, the Twins have talked about leaving even Phil Hughes down here to pitch Saturday after the team goes, because he right now is in line to be the 4th starter, and whoever is crowned the 5th starter would start on Sunday and then come to Minnesota. So, players can go back and forth, but you're right, the luggage and equipment and whatever family items.
Well, and some of the cars were shipped up there too yesterday.
Two and two to Peterson. Haley trying to get a ground ball here and get a double play and get off the field. There's the ground ball.
There we go. Good call.
Double play. And the Twins come off the field.
Give me 5 numbers real quick.
No score, going to the bottom of the 5th inning. And for in-depth Twins coverage all spring and summer long, you can go to foxsportsnorth.com. If you were following them on Twitter this week, you would have found out that Kathy Viola announced to the world that Frank will be switching his number from 16 to 34 in honor of Kirby Puckett. Kirby will not be in attendance, obviously, but the rest of the team, minus Kirby and Joe Niekro, I guess, is passed. He won't be on for the reunion either, unfortunately. But I know it's something you're looking forward to catch up with your former teammates on the '87 team. Chase Whitley in the game now for the Rays to pitch to the Twins.
Yeah, Whitley, a former starter for the Yankees back in 2014 and a little bit of 15, but last year with the Rays, mainly in the minor leagues, but made one start for the Rays in 5 ball games. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the reunion. 30 years, my goodness, how quick it has gone. And, you know, a lot of the guys are still involved in the Twins fantasy camp, so we get to see a lot of them, you know, during the winter.
Young-Ho Park takes ball 1. Park has had a good spring training, and I talked with him through his translator, Teddy Yu, before the game today as they were wrapping up batting practice, and I asked Park what the difference was between this year and last year in spring training. Down and away, and it's 2-0. And Park said he just feels so much more relaxed knowing what it's like over here. He had not spent much time in the United States prior to his time in the camp with the Twins last spring. Swing and a miss, and he brought up something that, as I continued the conversation, asking about relaxing, and he brought up something I thought was interesting. He said it really helped him to relax when he was taken off the 40-man roster. That was part of the pressure that he felt had been building. And he said when that happened, and when every other team passed on him, the Rays could have picked Park up for the balance of the contractual obligation the Twins have with him. They chose not to do that. And so Park said that has helped him to relax. Now, when I followed up with Paul Molitor about what he's seen different, he talked about this last plate appearance. Park has laid off a lot of pitches that aren't strikes. A year ago, he would have swung at maybe 2 of the pitches that ended up walking him and sending him to first.
Well, anytime you come over from South Korea, as Park did, I'm sure, you know, there's that pressure of wanting to do what he did in South Korea, and that's hit a lot of home runs. And, you know, the injury, of course, the surgery on that middle finger set him back. And everybody, you know, everybody reacts to pressure different ways. You want to impress, and sometimes you put that added pressure on yourself right off from day one. But then you think about it, you know, I mean, his English isn't real good, as mine is not. So, you know, and all of a sudden, you know, you're in a strange place. You got to find places to eat, all that stuff. It's got to be odd.
Roller to the right side. They'll get the lead runner, and that's it. Park is forced. Now, that's something we should have thought of 23 years ago when we started working together. Do you think life would have been any different if we'd have had a translator for
Probably
you?
Probably would have helped, yes.
Polanco aboard with a fielder's choice. I just thought it was interesting. Here the player is talking more about the mental things. And the manager said, well, no, he's swinging at strikes now. That's why he's hitting the ball harder. He's swinging at strikes.
Well, he has a physical part. I mean, South Korea is still good baseball. It's kind of just a little bit of a down baseball-wise from Japan. And Japan is, you know, they love their baseball as South Korea. I was in both those places, and the fans are outstanding. But those ballparks are like ballparks here. They're not little bandboxes.
Right.
So the 50-some home runs he hit, 105 home runs in 2 years before signing with the Twins. He's got power. Just relax and have fun. I think that's the biggest thing. I don't think he had fun last year. Well, Polanco has 1 stolen base in 2 attempts. Trying to get a read off of Whitley out there on the mound.
And there he goes. And Murphy trying to hit the ball behind him, pokes it foul.
That may be a little hit and run right there. Ball just too far off the plate for Murphy to slap that ball into right field. Well, Polanco looked like he got a good jump. Watch Polanco right there take off. And he looks in, so definitely a hit and run.
2 strikes now to Murphy. Twins trying to take advantage of the leadoff walk. Taken low.
Change up right there at 84.
And a look back.
I see Jim Hickey down there with a clipboard, the pitching coach for Kevin Cash. He's done a good job with a lot of these young pitchers. He's resurrected a lot of pitchers over the years that have come to Tampa, kind of wanting an opportunity to pitch, and they did, and they left.
Polanco goes, pitch out. Norris's throw in time to get him a one-hop throw. Fielded nicely by Miller, the second baseman. He scooped up the one-hop throw and put the tag down for the out.
That's a perfect throw by Whitley, the pitcher, to the catcher, because if it's a pitch out, you want that ball away. Polanco, sliding feet first, is tagged out for the second out of the inning.
And now 2-2 to John Ryan Murphy. So the first break from first base, an apparent hit and run, but a straight steal attempt is thrown out by Norris. And now full count to Murphy. Dozier on deck should Murphy extend the inning. You know, the Twins going into the final week of exhibition games here, and they're not swinging the bats real well, not scoring a lot of runs. Murphy chops it left side. Second hop fielded by Padlo. And the Twins get a leadoff walk, but send just 3 men to the plate. Down to the bottom of that lemonade. No score as we go to the 6th inning in our Sanford Health injury report. Twins have had a healthy camp except for Trevor May, who early in camp had his elbow blowout. He had the Tommy John surgery. He won't pitch for the Twins this year. I thought it was interesting talking with the Twins training staff about May. The Tommy John surgery is a transplant of a ligament from a different part of your body to the elbow. And in most cases, it's taken from the glove side wrist. But in Trevor's case, he didn't have that ligament. Some people do, some people don't. So they took a ligament, part of one, out of Trevor's knee. So I asked the trainers today, well, what, didn't that weaken the knee? And they said, well, no, this particular ligament regenerates. They gave me the name, but of course I didn't have a, pad and pencil with me. I didn't write it down, and I've got no way of recalling that at this point in my life. But it was a, funny sounding name for a ligament, but it regenerates. So there's a ball chopped towards short. Polanco has a play, one away. By the time Trevor's arm is ready to start using it again, that ligament will regenerate. That's nice when body parts do that. Livers do that. And it's just a doggone shame that brain cells don't. Wouldn't that be nice if brain cells regenerated?
What'd you say? So I talked to Trevor yesterday. He was kind of packing up, getting ready to go back home to Seattle area. That's not much he can do. He's going to join the Twins and come to Minnesota in about a month or so. Not much you can do other than just maybe squeeze a ball in that right hand. That's it. He had that big cast on, or the big metal protective.
Really can't do much, and I think Trevor's tweeted about progress of touching your thumb and your pinky finger and your thumb and your ring finger.
Yep.
And that's how you measure progress at this stage. One and one with one gone here in the sixth inning. And flared foul. 1-2. Kiermaier will follow. And another one lifted foul.
Where did Desmond Jennings go? Do you have any idea?
I thought I saw he got released by somebody a week or so ago.
I don't know, just looking at Smith's minor league numbers, this guy is a speedster.
Down and in a ball. And out of left center field, and Buxton comes in, puts it away, out number 2. And that'll bring up Kiermaier.
I finally found the page of Smith, but 230 stolen bases, have been caught 60 times, basically in the Atlanta Brave organization and the Padres. So he's a guy that, can't steal first, though. So far, not today. 0 for 3.
Kiermaier 0 for 1 with a walk, and he takes strike 1. And another flare, foul over the third base dugout. Up and away. Rays open up their schedule at home against the Yankees next week. And another one fouled. Almost looked like it knuckled its way down the left field line. 1-2.
Ooh,
there it is.
There it is.
Flipped the corner. Took a while for home plate umpire Tim Timmons to ring him up, but he did. And Haley has a good 6th inning. Human here today, no scoring so far. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th, but first, every weekday morning, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics. Undisputed with Skip and Shannon, weekdays from 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central, only on FS1. I would imagine that one of their topics today, the move of the Oakland Raiders to Las Vegas.
Yeah. I think the Raiders are going to play a couple more years in Oakland before they build that new stadium.
Which will be just a little bit awkward, won't it?
Mm-hmm.
And my biggest concern, or there's a Dozier with a drive to center, a leadoff hit, is how it will impact the A's. The Raiders apparently left a stadium deal in Oakland that would have included a dual-purpose facility that would have accommodated both the Raiders and the A's, and the Raiders wanted no part of it. And where that leaves the A's now, I don't know.
Montreal.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the baseball side of that all gets sorted out. Dozier aboard. Here's Max Kepler. Dozier a threat to steal, and there he goes on the very first pitch. And Dozier is safe, but not by much. Norris's throw this time scooped by the shortstop, Robertson, and he was able to put a quick thigh-high tag on Dozier.
Yeah, Brian got a good jump right there. One thing that he said he'd like to do is steal more bases. So far, 5 in 6 attempts now for Brian Dozier. So he gets in the scoring position with nobody out.
Pull shift on now for Kepler, on the left side of the infield is wide open. And Kepler swings through a 1-1. Swing and miss again, another off-speed pitch. In shifting in a situation like this, though, I mean, Kepler can hit a ground ball just about anywhere other than right at the third baseman. And Dozier will be able to move up. If it's hit to Padlow's left, Dozier will still be able to advance. There'll be nobody there to cover the bag.
Just get it by the pitcher on the ground.
Yep. A couple off-speed pitches down and away, and one under his chin. It's 2-2.
Well, Kepler knows what he needs to do here, and that's hopefully advance Brian over to third. If not, drive him in.
whibbed. Another breaking ball, and Kepler stayed alive.
It looks like a good changeup right there at Kepler a couple times, way out front. So Whitley must have very good arm action on that changeup. Went through the Tommy John a couple years ago. Whitley did.
Looped down the right field line and caught in the corner by Peterson. Dozier can advance easily. One away.
Well, you're looking for positives. Kepler came in hitting just 150 something, and that's a good at bat right there, doing his job. And you're getting high fives and fist pumps all around in the dugout. So the stolen base and the fly ball to right gets Dozier over to third.
And now the infield will come in for Buxton. 3 of them on the left side of the infield. And Buxton takes a strike. And this is an ideal situation for a number 3 hitter. Buxton knows his job here is to get the run in somehow. If you're going to hit third, you need to drive in run. Fouled back, and now he's behind in the count, 0-2.
Yeah, just got underneath that pitch. Probably would have created a fly ball. Instead, it's a foul ball.
And he chases and strikes out on 3 pitches, 2 down. And that'll leave the rally, if you want to call it that, up to Mauer.
Yeah, Whitley picking up his first strikeout. It came at the right time. Little 2-out hitting here by Joe Mauer.
A double to right center his last time up. Came up in this situation, not exactly this situation. Buxton was at second and 2 down in the first, and Archer struck him out. Big lead at third from Dozier, and Mauer takes up and away.
And with that the third baseman playing at deep third base, Brian can almost get about a third of the way toward home plate.
And in the dirt. So far, they haven't come close to throwing Joe a strike, and with 2 bases open, Sano on deck. We'll see how aggressive they are here on this 2-0 pitch. Flips the corner, 2-1. I'm sure Joe's convinced.
Almost the same pitch right there, but if you're Tim Timmons, you've been standing, what, for an hour and a half, 2 hours already, the umpires. I thought Mike Trout made a good suggestion when he said that, you know what, umpires in spring training, yes, they need to see, you know, the balls and strikes and get ready for the season, major league umpires.
Dribbler right side.
Well, why not include some minor league umpires, especially this part of the game?
Twins get a leadoff single and a stolen base, but don't score in the 6th. pitchers duel here today. No score as we head to the 7th inning. You can join the Twins of Major League Baseball and new era as we all celebrate opening day by wearing our caps. Make sure to wear your cap on April 3rd. Share a photo on social media. I'll take my selfie here as I did the other day. Ready?
Hello.
And tune into all the opening day action April 3rd on ESPN, MLB Network, MLB.com, and especially Fox Sports North. We're going to hit the air at 2 o'clock Central. We're going to have a special 1-hour pregame, then the game, then we're going to have a postgame. It'll be nice to work with our good friends again.
Now, you take a lot of selfies, don't you?
Not that many.
Yeah, you do. I saw it during the winter. You know, I follow you on Twitter, and you take a lot of selfies. I don't think I've ever taken a selfie.
Because you don't know how? Or
No, I know how. I just...
Well, I'm trying to think of the selfies that I took this winter. I took one of splitting wood.
Right. There's like
blowing
5 or 6
snow,
of them, I think.
Ice fishing.
Mm-hmm. There you go, a handful.
Yeah.
Now you just took one the other day. Now you took another one.
Oh, it's not a chronic problem. I don't take that many.
Oh, yeah, you do. You
fly ball right center field. Kepler's over.
You should see somebody.
How do you know I'm not seeing somebody? One down.
Well, you need to go more then.
Brad Miller will hit next. Haley's out there for some extended work. Tepish pitched 4 effective innings, and now the 3rd inning for Haley.
Yeah, it's almost, I think, between these two pitchers here this afternoon, a little audition on, that bullpen, the spots that they're looking.
Well, Alex Wimmers is in that role, too. He's still in camp, but he's not on the 40-man roster, and that's really a big issue, I think, for the Twins this year in terms of trying to get down to 25. There's some guys that the dribbler left side, Sano cuts across. Sidearms at the Mauer, 2 quick outs. There's some guys who otherwise would be locks, I think, to be on the 40-man roster or to be on the 25-man roster, but they're not on the 40-man roster, and you need to make room for someone like Byung-Ho Park. Okay, you put him on, then naturally you got to take somebody off.
Well, I understand Glenn Perkins is the one that'll be taken off.
Okay, then what do you do?
Because he's going to stay here.
Right. What do you do if it's Chris Jimenez as the backup catcher? There's somebody else. What about Alex Wimmers?
Yeah. These are all things that the Twins have to decide here in the next, 72 hours.
Morrison takes at the knees, a strike. And the Twins made 2 moves today.
Yeah, Buddy Boshears, Tommy Field.
I think it could be Tommy Field. He had a great camp. He had I talked with Paul about Paul Molitor. Have you told some of these guys confidentially that they're on the team? He says, I wish I could. It'd mix. It'd be nice to be able to do that from the manager's standpoint, to be able to give somebody some good news, because so far all he's done is given people bad news.
And any manager you talk to, this is the toughest time of the year for managers. Guys to come into spring training, you're not, that 28th, 29th guy on a roster, and you're trying to make it, and you're having a good spring. Sometimes you get stuck outside looking in the window.
2-1 to Logan Morrison. To the left field corner, it's twisting foul. And no play for Rosario. Well, if Haley can get Morrison here, he will have faced 9 men and gotten 9 outs. Can't do much better than that.
Well, and there's no action in the Twins bullpen, so if he gets through this, he may have one more.
Smothered by Murphy. Full count. Weeks on deck. And Kurt Casale, it looks like, is on deck.
Now, Haley has no major league experience, but last year between AA and AAA, a really good year. Combined 13-10, ERA at 3.01 and 146 2/3 innings. Again, mainly a starter in his career.
Chopper right side toward the hole and over the glove of Dozier. And it'll be a base hit for Morrison. We've seen Brian make that play many, many times.
Yeah, that ball came up, I think, a little bit more than Brian anticipated. So that seeing eye base hit gets Morrison his second hit. And a second hit off of Haley.
They've both been grounders, one to the left field side, one to the right field side. Now with 2 down, Kurt Casale will hit for Ricky Weeks, who went 0 for 2. At the knees, strike 1.
Casale looking to make their ball club for the Rays as a catcher.
226 at bats for them last year. He had 186. Everybody you talk to, unless you're the Giants, the Royals, like every team you talk to, they're looking for catching, not just at the big league level, but in the minor leagues. It is to me, a chronic problem in baseball. So many catchers, and it's been this way for quite some time. Mauer with a nice backhanded pickup, and Haley covers nicely to end the inning. So many catchers who make it up here are converted to position players from other positions. Bottom of the 7th, still no score. No score. Twins scoring just 1 run in the ball game last night. Everybody who's pitched has pitched well, and we head to the bottom of the 7th inning with Miguel Sano set to lead things off for the Twins. Twins with a couple of doubles. They got a base hit and a stolen base, so a runner at second, nobody out in the bottom of the 6th, but Dozier didn't score.
And the 4th pitcher used by Kevin Cash. This would be Austin Pruitt.
Pruitt spent all of last year in Durham. 8-11, 3.76 ERA. And Sano will lead things off. He's hit a couple of ground balls to the third baseman so far in the ball game. And a new left fielder.
So Smith out of the ball game.
And it's Thomas Malone.
Thomas Malone, not Tommy Malone.
Not Tommy Malone. Big swing by Sano. Rosario and Park due to follow. Breaking ball over the inside corner, and it's 0-2.
Watching Pruitt warm up, pretty good breaking ball. What I saw, 5'10", about 180, 27 years old. Signed by the Rays in 2013.
Got a pitch up, fouled straight back. I guess that's in the games I've seen. I've been down here since March 12th. I've seen Sano miss pitches like that. Now it's spring training, so that's not worrisome, I don't think. But Twins hope that when he gets a pitch like that, left up, that he hammers it hard someplace. We've seen swings and misses and fouls straight back. Outside, 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Sano strikes out, one away.
Went back to the curveball, and Sano swinging through it.
Matt Belisle, veteran pitcher brought into the Twins camp this year, has had a good camp. Looks like he'll pitch next. Eddie Rosario will hit. He has struck out swinging and bounced to second. Driven foul over near Matt Belisle. Big swing and a miss. Neither team has generated much offense here. Twins with a couple of doubles and a single, and the Rays with 5 singles. Oh, and 2. Line right at the third baseman, Padlo, 2 down.
Yeah, the curveball stayed up. Rosario went with it the other way, but right at the third baseman that was playing almost at shortstop.
And now Park. I asked Paul Molitor today where Park was defensively if he does come north with the team. We didn't see really much of him at first base last year before he was sent down. He said he's a little rough around the edges. He's not as fluid at first base as, say, Joe Mauer. I think Joe's established himself as one of the better fielding first basemen now, and Park's not in that league yet, in that category. 1-0. High fly, right center field. Chased by Peterson and Kiermaier. It's gone, a home run. Park to the opposite field. The first run of the game.
I think we saw the strength of Byung-Ho Park right there. A fastball up. Remember I said Sano, when he starts hitting that ball up the middle the other way. But a good at-bat by Park, taking that ball the other way into the seats in right center field. So Park hits his 5th home run this spring. Good extension. The Twins take a 1-0 lead.
Like all great home run hitters, the balls they hit tend to carry an extra 40 feet from when, say, a Brian Dozier or someone else hits them. They just keep carrying, and that was the case there. We don't have any wind to speak of here today. That was all on Byung-Ho Park, driving it about 6 rows back in right center. Here is Polanco. Still remember the home run he hit, obviously, early in the season last year that went up at target field deep into the catch area and straightaway center field over the batter's eye. Uncommon power. 1-1. Down to left field. And Thomas Malone makes the catch. Park with a home run to right center, and the Twins are on the board in the 7th. 1-0 as we race along to the top of the 8th inning. Partly cloudy skies, temps in the upper 80s. Will be more of the same tomorrow and Thursday, and then two more clouds on Friday. But then the Twins will be coming home to, last time I checked, for opening day, it's supposed to be about 54, 55 degrees at Target Field. And it will be very good to get the new season started. Matt Belisle figures to be a part of the Twins bullpen this year, and he comes in to pitch here in the 8th.
Yeah, Matt's been around the block, but 36 years old. He's a veteran out of that bullpen with the Cincinnati Reds, the Colorado Rockies, the St. Louis Cardinals, last year with the Washington Nationals. Twins signed him to a 1-year contract.
Fastball inside, 1-1. Low 90s fastball. Done a nice job extending his career into his mid-30s, as Bert mentioned, 36. Down and away, 2-1. His entire major league career has been spent in the National League. And so there might be some benefit there. A lot of American League hitters haven't seen Belisle before. There's a strike that covers the inside corner, 2-2.
Fastball inside. Always a setup man in his career. Has 5 major league saves. He's appeared in 598 major league games. And looked like a good slider right there.
1 down in the 8th inning.
So after the fastball in, he clips the corner down and away, and Robertson swings through it.
And now Shane Peterson. Belisle was a very late sign by the Twins. Signed on February 2nd. And spring training opened up about a week and a half later.
Good slow curveball to get ahead.
And as the Twins reconstruct their pitching staff with some new faces, Belisle figures to be a part of it. Everything's gone reasonably well here in camp, but one of the big disappointments, other than Trevor May's arm injury, chopper right side, juggled, but Santana recovers and throws to Haig, who's now in at first base. 2 down. One of the big disappointments was J.T. Chagua, who didn't have a good camp, and he had a wide open door, one would think, to win a spot in the Twins bullpen this year if he'd been able to throw strikes, get ahead of hitters, and take a step forward from where he was last year. 2 down. And now Padlo. And Belisle drops a breaking ball over the outside or inside corner. A ball.
Twins had Rick Aguilera in camp earlier, and Belisle went right up to him and asked him about that little split finger. I talked to Belisle yesterday, and he kind of picked it up right away.
Two and one. Squibbed foul. Well, you know, a guy like Belisle wants to stay in the game as long as he can. He's taken off on a strict diet to try to prolong his career, and if along the way you can tinker with some different pitches and
You know, Eddie Guardado did that. He didn't come up to the big leagues with a split finger pitch, but it was something he incorporated later.
Well, you know, I come out now in uniform when I'm not doing the games here. I'll be out in uniform again tomorrow with the Twins. And yesterday when I was out there, Belial came up and asked me how I held my curveball. So, you know, he's a veteran that's still wanting to learn.
Popped up near third base. Escobar is there now, I believe.
Yes.
And he makes the catch. And Belial has a quick 1-2-3 eighth inning. But strikeouts have been key in this game.
Yeah, pitching gets out good hitting, and Archer, Chris Archer, 3 very, very good innings, getting ready for opening day for the Rays. And for the Twins, they've had 3 double plays, 2 of them almost deja vu right there to Joe Mauer. And Joe Mauer getting the force out right there twice, and then the Rays grounded into a double play. And the only scoring of the ball game, Byung-Ho Park, came last inning. Austin Pruitt giving up that home run.
Frank Casino's story of the game, and now bottom of the 8th inning, and Chris Jimenez hitting for John Ryan Murphy, and a 1-0 pitch grounded to third, 1 away. Real quick out here in the 8th inning.
The second baseman, Danny Santana.
1 down, and now Danny Santana hitting in what was Brian Dozier's spot. Brian went 1 for 3 with a stolen base. As we've been saying during our telecast, Santana's played 6 different positions this spring. The 3 outfield spots, and everywhere in the infield except first base, pitch, and catch. There's a beautiful bunt. And Santana is out at first. Called out by first base umpire.
Brian O'Nora? I don't know. They kind of move around a little bit.
Brian O'Nora, I think, is at third. At any rate, it sure looked like Santana was safe. Wow. That was a very well-placed bunt.
It really was. What a nice play by Miller, charging in quickly and getting it over to Morrison. And I think they're showing it even back on replay, and Santana was safe.
Ball's a foot out of his glove with Santana's foot on the bag. At any rate, good idea, good execution by Santana. Good execution by our guys in the truck. I think it was a football coach, and I'm going to remember the name as soon as we leave the air. But someone asked him post-game what he thought of his team's execution. He said, "I'm all for it." Sounds like something John McKay might have said.
Good answer.
I'm all for it. 1-2 to Max Kepler. Chopper fielded by Robertson, and that time Kepler gets the call at first base. So Kepler gets an infield hit, a ball beaten right into the ground, so he's 1 for 4. But also out of the box and got a base hit.
Yeah, Robertson played it nicely at short, too. Not much you can do. He was playing behind second base. He had come charging in and on the run. Tried to get something on that throw, but Kepler beat it out.
And Kepler's aboard, and that'll bring up Buxton. And Buxton takes strike 1. A couple of strikeouts for the Twins center fielder and a double to left his first time up. One and one. Very foul. And it's 1-2 to Buxton. Brandon Kintzler, who might be the closer, looks like he will be next week in the regular season. Actually, he might get a save opportunity in the 9th. I think that's more coincidence than anything else. We talked about the lineup that the Twins put out on the field, with the possible exception of John Ryan Murphy being the expected opening day lineup, and now the end of the bullpen might be utilized today the way it might on Monday if the Twins have a late inning lead. And Buxton swings and misses, and he struck out now 3 times in a row. It'll be a 1-0 lead for Brandon Kintzler when we bring you the 9th inning in a moment. One to nothing. Twins in front as we go to the 9th inning.
It's been a well-played game, a well-pitched game for both sides.
And closers very often are used earlier in the ball game. This is the last week of spring training, but the Twins closer, Brandon Kintzler, will have a chance to pick up a save here. I'm going to say for whatever it's worth, but it isn't worth a thing. It's just he hopes to pitch an effective inning.
All right, there's Kinsler right there, 32 years old in his second season with the Twins, coming over from the Milwaukee Brewer organization. Last year, 17 saves in 54 ball games he appeared in. Very good, 3.15 earned run average.
It'll be Malone, then Kiermaier, and then I believe the catcher Rapaz, who would hit third. Kinsler was the third option, as it turned out, last year to close games. Of course, the Twins started the year with Glenn Perkins. It's anybody's guess as to whether the Twins will get substantial, if any, contribution from Perkins this year. Kevin Jepson, who did a nice job filling in as closer in 2015, but struggled from the outset in 2016. And then when Jepson was dealt, Kinsler was given the job and, frankly, did very, very well with the role.
Hey, he really did. You know, you look at his delivery, straight over the top, creates a great angle toward the catcher's glove. Just like that. Just misses low.
That's his pitch. That's why he succeeded last year as a pitch to contact closer. He's not a strikeout guy, but everything he throws seems to drop and induce ground balls.
Oh, and excellent control too. Only 8 walks in 54 and a third innings last year with 35 strikeouts.
There's a ground ball. And there's a first out. Most closers are swing and miss guys, and when people do get on base, they can minimize damage just by striking the next hitter or two out. Kinsler is not that type. He requires good infield defense, and that's the hope, that this year's infield defense for the Twins will be better than it was last year. Again, there don't seem to be any question marks on the right side. If there are question marks, it's on the left side. One down, and here is Kiermaier. Ball one. And now ball two.
One thing about Kinsler too, I saw he warmed up a little bit yesterday. His ball's moving all the time. Good movement. Here he tried to clip the corner down and away, gets another ground ball. Good pitch.
So far, it looks like he's in midseason form. 54 and a third innings last year for the Twins. 17 saves, 35 strikeouts. So well below a strikeout per inning pitched.
Yeah, as I mentioned, only 8 walks, so he's always around the plate.
2 down, and Rapaz will hit. And the dirt ball one. Five hits apiece. Young Ho Park's home run, the only marker in the run column. And the dirt again.
Jimenez sitting down and away.
Ground ball, but right over the mound. And nice play by the second baseman, Santana. Long throw from almost the center field grass, but he makes a good play to retire the catcher. 3 ground ball outs, a save for Brandon Kinsler, and a 1-0 Twins win.
Yeah, nice game. Nice game right there for the Twins to win.
Game was about 2 hours and 7 minutes last night, and about 2 hours and 15 minutes today. A Twins win. We'll be back to wrap things up in a moment.